Penny Siqueiros joins us today to talk some Emory softball. Coach, you are in the early stages of your practice for the upcoming season. How are things going so far?
Yeah, John, we're about 1.5 weeks into practices, and things are moving along. Definitely improved off the fall, which is very exciting. We have a lot of different faces and new places, and so there's been a lot of work kind of taking place, and we still have a lot of work to do moving forward.
You know, looking at this year's roster, I mean, in comparison, you lost a great senior class last year. Had over 700 games played, a lot of innings, a lot of hits, a lot of RBIs. Let's talk about some of the expectations you have for this team.
Yeah, it's a cycle of classes have kind of turned itself over, so it's always fun to kind of reestablish a new culture, and that is very personal to this group, and it is different. And the past is the past, and we were thankful for what the women have done for us in Emory and the university, with the graduating class recently. But moving forward, we have a bunch of new faces, and we anticipate that excitement for those women and their opportunities is really going to shine. And we have a lot of holes that need to be filled, and we're just anxious and excited to start piecing that puzzle together.
Okay, that's a good segue into kind of a positional breakdown. Let's take a look at your pitching staffs as you see it this upcoming season.
Right, the pitching staff is we have a lot of promise. We have some experience coming back. We also have some new faces. So basically, what we believe is going to happen is each of us are going to need to contribute in order for the entire battery to be successful. So it's not something where we're going to be completely reliant on one person, simply because our competition is too steep, and you don't know really what's going to be across the field or the foul lines from us. So we really need everybody to step up in order to be a successful battery. So we're going to be reliant on returnees and new players as well.
One of those returnees is Brittany File, who had a really outstanding campaign last year. Led the nation in strikeouts per 7 innings.
Man, I tell you, the level of maturity that Brittany has expressed coming from last year to this year, and just getting 1 year under her belt, has been sensational. She pitched against University of Georgia this past fall with all their starters. Lou Harris doesn't hold back, to her credit, and she did well. She received some compliments from Lou and her staff regarding what she did. So we're really excited about the possibilities of what she's going to do this year.
And how some of the young players that you think might step in and contribute?
Yeah, I mean, Audrey Weller pitched a few innings against UGA as well. We weren't able to get to the rest of our pitching staff that day. But I really see, other pitchers stepping up. We're looking for Sydney Carpenter to be back with us. She had an injury last year, so really, really tickled about that. And Jackie Farrow as well, and Reagan Greer is improving also. So it really is going to take everybody stepping up.
In the outfield, you lose 2 or 3 starters. Lose Allie Kirsto, Lauren Gorodetsky.
Yep.
Just talk about the outfield. Some of the players. You have Alyssa Pollard back at one spot probably, but
yep.
Talk about just the outfield and who you think will be emerge as key players.
Right. Alyssa Pollard has done an exceptional job, really stepping up. We're incredibly excited about. We kind of had center field. A huge gap to fill out there, and she's really stepped up in center field and has just blown us all away as to her capabilities and her growth there. So other positions, we actually have Amy Ray moving out to the outfield. She played second base for us a little bit last year and pitched, and looking for her to possibly play right field. We have Taylor Forte going back and forth between first base and left field. Janelle Turnquist working through left field as well, and actually Reagan Greer's been getting some work in the outfield as well.
So talk about your infield now. So, again, a few more spots to fill, and it looks like you have a lot of people with interchangeable parts, maybe moving people around.
Yeah, we really talked about stretch assignments a lot. Taking on positions and opportunities that you may not necessarily have been accustomed to, and our players have been very open-minded about cross-utilization as far as playing through multiple positions, and we definitely are going to have some new looks to our infield. Yet what's real fantastic about This group is they're all wanting to be aggressive with what they're trying to accomplish in that infield. And we do have some returning faces back in there in that maturity and just experience with them in the program is really going to, I think, make a difference in creating some stability in that infield.
And among some of your returners in that infield, Brianna Brousseau coming off an injury, I guess she's looked pretty good so far. Micah Sharp, maybe a shortstop.
Yep. Micah at short we're looking at, along with Brianna, interchanging between second and short. Actually looking at Mel Carter and Tara Falahy working through third base, and Micah and Mel looking to interchange between the infield and catching. Looking at shifting Hannah possibly over to second base, Hannah Sindel, All-American for us. And then we've got Taylor Forte and Ashley Powers working through first base, which we're excited about, as well as Kelsey Anderson going back to second base, working through second as well.
Talk about the approach you've had to take, maybe starting with the fall, losing a lot of veterans such as you did. Is how much of has there been a lot more teaching going on in the fall and in the spring, or is it how's that been?
Gosh, John, that's such a great question, and I think it's, if you can just think of a new shoe and you're trying to break it in, and with that comes some discomfort that goes back to those stretch assignments and kind of putting people through some growing pains. And I felt like in the fall, and I'm thinking that the players probably felt the same thing, is it really was, we just didn't know what to expect of our group and of ourselves individually, because we were really bouncing a lot of people around everywhere just to see where there might be some fluidity. So it was kind of fun and I think frustrating for them at the same time, because you had players playing in new spots that maybe they haven't played in since like 8th grade or 6th grade. Yet I think their open-mindedness and hopefully ours as well as a staff really kind of created this environment where it was just like, look, let's go for it. Let's see what we have. So we look forward to seeing how the puzzle comes together.
Opening weekend's just a couple of weeks away, 14th and 15th.
Yep. And we've got some real good teams coming in with Lynchburg and Rhodes, and we have a great deal of respect for both of those programs. So we know Don and Luke Wagner have been doing a great job building their programs and sustaining their programs. So we know it's going to be tough, and we just got to hopefully be more prepared than they are. But that's what our goal is.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get back to work. Thanks very much for your time, and I'm sure we'll be catching up with you later on.
You're welcome, John.